Tracy Letts, of course, is someone who's very well known at the Steppenwolf Theater here in Chicago. You have a background in Chicago as well. First, I guess, what's your background with Tracy? He, of course, is a great playwright and also an actor. Maybe you can expunge on your relationship with Tracy Letts.
I saw Bug in around I think 2005 or 6. I saw it at the Barrow Street Theater, an off-Broadway theater in the West Village, Greenwich Village of New York. And it really impressed me. And I immediately saw a film in it. And so I got in touch with him. I found out who represented him and where he lived, and I told him I was interested in doing a film. I asked him to do the screenplay, and we had a great relationship with that. I love his writing, and I felt very attached to his ideas about paranoia and obsession that run throughout Bug. And so then we stayed in touch. I came to Chicago and saw him do a couple of plays. I saw him do The Dresser there at Steppenwolf. And we kept in touch. And then in about 2010, he called me and said, "Hey, I wrote a script on Killer Joe. You want to take a look at it and see if you're interested?" And he sent me a screenplay, and I thought it was brilliant. So I said, "Look, if I can cast this right and find an interesting producer, I'll do it."
And it turned out that you were. Now, did you agree to do it before you casted it?
Oh, sure. I knew I would cast it somehow. And I took a lot of wrong turns with it, I must say. There were a lot of people interested, and I was about to go with them, and a very funny thing happens to me. It happened on The Exorcist, on The French Connection, on To Live and Die in L.A. I was going to go in a certain direction with the casting, and one thing or another didn't work out, and I wound up with an ideal cast that I had not even originally thought of. For example, Juno Temple. I'd never even heard of her. I was going to go with, what's the girl's name who's in, I didn't see it, but she's in The Hunting, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
I was going to go with her, and I think she'd be great. But then Juno Temple sent me an audition DVD. She actually emailed it to my casting director, and she auditioned for this part unsolicited with her 10-year-old brother playing Joe. And I thought she was fantastic, just great. She was exactly what I was looking for, and so I went right to her. Then with Emile Hirsch and Thomas Hayden Church, they were my first choices, obviously. And then I pursued a number of other actresses before I realized that the only one who had the courage and the ability to play this was Gina Gershon.
Oh, she's amazing. Great actress, Gina Gershon. I was going to say to you, though, this is why I love you, though, is because you and a few of the guys from that era of filmmaking in the 70s, you take risks, and someone like Juno Temple sends you an unsolicited DVD, and you're totally open to looking at it. Some of the directors nowadays in this more corporate world of filmmaking is they wouldn't do that.
Well, I've always, had good fortune doing that. I remember when we couldn't cast The Exorcist at all. We had auditioned several thousand 12-year-old and 11 and 13-year-old girls around the country, including Chicago. A lot of young girls put on tape by casting directors, and there was nobody that seemed right. And we started to look at 15 and 16-year-old girls who looked younger, and that wasn't going to work. And just as I was at the point of despair, where I thought I could never cast this role, which meant not make the film, Linda Blair's mother brought her in to my office in Warner Brothers in New York, and unsolicited, again, she didn't have an appointment. I was at my desk, and my secretary buzzed me and said, "There's a woman out here named Eleanor Blair. She doesn't have an appointment, but she's brought her daughter and wonders if you'll see her." And the rest is history, as they say.